hit the record button so we're get this recorded. Uh, First of all, let me see here. I want to, for those of you on the call, which would I guess just be George, Chris, and Thomas right now. Be sure to wish George a happy birthday. Today is George's birthday.
Happy birthday, George.
Oh, thanks.
And you happen to share that birthday with my new granddaughter who was just born today.
Oh, cool. I was wondering what that weird feeling was I had.
Yep, my second granddaughter was born at, I think, 7:36 this morning or something like that. So.
Oh, really? All right.
Yep. Yep.
Well, congratulations. Grandkids, cool.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to start off here. You see on my agenda here of items that I want to talk about. This district captain activity analysis. This is an analysis that I did on for the first 5 months, covering January through May of this year, and I used this report, this region captain status report that I have region captains and district captains in regions where they don't have a region captain. These are reports that are submitted to me every month showing the activity that they've been involved in throughout the month, and activity that we are expecting our district captains to perform pretty much on a monthly basis. And so I took the reports for January through May, and I did an analysis, and I'm just telling you, it didn't look very good. We had, as an example, we had 0 legislator meetings January through May of this year. And we had a couple gun shows that Region 3 did. Those were very good, but we had very few meetings. We had very few other activities that I won't go into the details of that report, but basically these are activities that I expect district captains to do on a monthly basis, okay? For most of the part. Now, obviously, we're not meeting with our legislators every month. We've already decided that should be on a quarterly basis. But these are things that we expect our district captains to be doing pretty much on a monthly basis. So it did not look good. The report did not look good. I'll just say that. And then I got to looking at, well, we got 26 district captains in place, but 14 of them are still in training. And that raised a red flag to me right there that, hell, when we got people in training as district captains, then they're not doing anything as district captains because they're in training. And so 14 of the 26 district captains that we have, January through May, were in training. So that's what prompted me to go through and put the dates on the training tracking report, dates that I wanted to see the DCs complete their training. Okay? Now,
hey, Dale, can I interrupt? I got a question.
Okay.
Are you saying that of the 26 DCs that the 14 in training are part of that 26?
Yes. Yeah.
We don't have more DCs than that are out of training? I thought we were usually hugging around 30 or so.
Well, when I report that on the state call when I say we got 26 district captains or we got 30 districts with district captains. I'm including the people that are in training.
Okay.
Okay. The point, one of the points here that I'm trying to make is that the thing is that when we got people in training, they're not doing what we're expecting them to do as district captains because they're still in training. Now, having said that, though, I want to share something with you. We have a district captain that I think January through May has really set the standard for what we would like to see a district captain do. And I'm just, you probably will be able to figure this guy, who this is, but I won't tell you right now. But now listen to this guy. He's married. He works full time. Has 5 children. Okay. He didn't meet with his legislators. Nobody did, January through May. But he went to 2 Lincoln Day dinners. Met one of his legislators at one of the Lincoln Day dinners, and gave him a copy of Mark Levin's Liberty Amendments book. So he finally did make contact with one of his legislators, and he's got something now that he can follow up on to get an appointment. But beyond that, as far as meetings and events, listen to this. He's hosted 2 town hall meetings. He spoke at a neighboring town hall meeting. He's attended 2 Lincoln Day dinners, as I mentioned. He's scheduled to be on my Indiana Live broadcast in July. He's got an information table planned for a local fair, and he's been invited to speak at a local Tea Party meeting. As far as communications, he's sent 9 email blasts to people in his district. And he's also now working on a newsletter with our new newsletter template. Okay. So the point I'm trying to make here with this young man is we need to expect our district captains to be doing the job as district captain. And this young man is a prime example of someone that is really dedicated to being a district captain, what they can accomplish. Okay? And I've been talking to the district captains that I wanted to get their training finished by, actually I had set June 24th as a deadline for them. And I think there were 6 in total. 2 of them resigned, and I've had another one now that has decided that he wants to do something else, and we're going to find another place for him in as a district, in our organization. So that doesn't mean that these people are bad people. This just means that you know, whether it's work, whether it's taking care of elderly people, parents, whether it's whatever it might be, there could be factors involved in why this person should not be a district captain. And we're just wasting our time by letting them linger in training there, when in fact they're probably not going to be able to do the job anyway. So any questions about what I've said so far here?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you do spark an idea though, but guess we can talk about that later.
You what?
Said you do spark an idea, though, but we can talk about that later.
Okay. Well, when we get to the part here of what can we do, here's some things that I think we need to do. And you may have more ideas on what we need to do. We need to get people through this training program in 6 to 8 weeks. That should be the expectation, to get through the program in 6 to 8 weeks. Now we've had people in this program, in the DC training program, we've had people in there for 6 months. Now, part of it was our fault because we had to reshuffle the program, but we need to have people get through this program in 6 to 8 weeks. That should be an expectation right up front. We need to have a curriculum. I've had in my Module 6 sessions this past week or so, I've had more than one person ask if we could put together a curriculum. I know we talked about that at one time. I think, Chris, I think at one time you were going to put something together where you would have all the links for the various modules, right?
Sorry, I was muted, yes.
Okay. But the other thing that I want to ask of you, I want you to be aware of red flags that pop up during the training. If you've got a trainee that that misses your calls, is always some sort of delay. They come to your training unprepared. They're slow to communicate. They don't show up for when the module is scheduled with them. When that happens, please report this to their region captain or me, because we need to then have a heart-to-heart conversation with this person and find out if maybe this is not the right thing for them at this point in time, and let's do it then, not down the line when we've invested all this time into them. So anybody got any other ideas or any thoughts along that line?
I had just a question, and just because I'm not involved in any real recruiting or anything like that, so I was kind of speaking out of, I just don't know. But it would seem that the people that would be likely dependable district captains would be kind of outgoing, people that are doers, that take the lead in contacting people, giving a phone call. And I mean, that it kind of stands to reason. I mean, common sense, but I guess in a way, just because of some of the people that I've tried to train that have you talk about missed calls and delays and stuff, I've definitely had that. And I mean, who's to say, whether they have a really good reason, if you got a family and stuff and a job. I mean, I'm in that boat too, kind of, but I don't know.
Well, and yes.
I mean, do they know what's expected of them? I mean, really, in the real world, as far as what they're supposed to be doing, or what they're going to be doing?
Well, I don't know. That's a good point. I do that in Module 6. I go over that report and I go over it and tell them this is what you're expected to be doing, and then I proceed on through the Module 6. Maybe I should be doing that at the very beginning, huh?
I usually go over them what we expect. I don't really tell them how. So maybe there's a lack of knowledge there on the DC's part, and so they end up doing nothing rather than. You know, I told them we want district captains that are self-motivated and willing to do whatever they can think of to get the word out and meet people and things. But I don't go into how to do that so much. Well, a little bit in Module 4, but not really anything laid out flat. But this brings into the idea I had a little bit ago when you were talking about this other guy. Could we incorporate him into our training some way? As I've been there, done that, and this is how I did it. Kind of like as a mentor for new DCs coming in.
Who, the cartoon character, Franklin?
No, the guy you're talking about that you won't tell us who it is. Lincoln Day dinners and
Oh. Well, I don't know. No, I don't want to
overload him. Yeah, but
I don't want to set him up for to be the super guy. That's a good thought. I think I'll tell you what. Right now, George, I would like for you and I to have a session where I show you what I'm expecting of them, what I cover, what I talk to them about in Module 6, so that you can incorporate that, not to that extent that I do, but you can at least incorporate that into the first module as to what the expectations are for them.
Yeah, okay. You mean like I could? You want me to sit in on a Module 6 sometime? I could do that.
Yeah. So I think that would be a good idea. Now, as far as I think Chris was, there's Ken. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Dale. I had an idea if that you might consider as well. I mean, with all you're talking about, it might be worth putting together a PowerPoint and just if we could collect some pictures, people at these different events. Not that we don't already have this stuff, but I think if you had a PowerPoint presentation up front when somebody's coming on, here's some pictures of what we expect DCs to be doing, and then the visual association with some of those meetings and the Lincoln Egg dinners and things like that. A person might from the very beginning take a look at a PowerPoint presentation and see all that's involved there and say, I really don't think this is cut out for me. Maybe I'm not really a DC. Maybe I'm something else. Just a thought, again, just putting together the visual with some of those activities.
We could pull those. We could pull that information from various state calls that we've had, and compile a PowerPoint that maybe George could show them in Module 1, huh?
Yeah, I just think people don't. I think we've all witnessed it. People don't have any idea what to do once they volunteer. So if it's something that a person is even considering a DC, I think it just. I'm a visual guy anyway, so I just think that by adding that to maybe like you say in Module 1, they could see. They could see people in action. Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could attend, a gun show. I could set up a booth, that kind of stuff. Just a thought.
That's a good point. That's a good idea. I like that. I think that might be. See, of course, the training program, you see, is supposed to prepare them for being a district captain. We set up this training program because one main reason, and this was before we did this revamp with this current program, but when we initially set up the training program, it was in fact to get the district captain trainee prepared to become a district captain, so they would know what to do when they finally became a district captain. There was nothing existed like that in past years. So people were thrown out there as district captain. They had no idea what to do. So that is the purpose of this training program. However, I think it might be worthwhile to like you're saying, to make it, stress it a little bit more in a brief way at the very beginning what their ultimate expectations are going to be.
Yeah, but some people are just not as comfortable as others, beginning a conversation about anything, like from a, say, a salesperson standpoint or something, or initiating something. You may find some people are stronger in that, but others might shy away from it, but they might be great at social media and maybe blogging or something like that. But they just don't enjoy being that interactive with people.
Well, and of course, we go through a vetting process with these district captain applicants, where George and the region captain interview the individual. If there's no region captain, then George and I interview them, and I have to admit that I think obviously the ones that we've approved, we had all indications that everything was a go. But life happens. We had two district captain trainees that their things were happening at where they worked. They were getting many more duties assigned to them than they had before, and they were just swamped. And and they just decided that they could no longer pursue the district captain role, and that's okay. We understand that. That happens. If their work or other life priorities are so demanding that they're not going to have time to do the job as a district captain, then we need to know this as early as possible, and we need to move on and find someone else to fill that role, and not uncover that 2 or 3 months down the road.
This is George. My sense all along too has been that one thing that keeps people from stepping out is their sense of their own knowledge. They're afraid that they're going to be asked a question they don't know the answer to, that sort of thing. I give them a lot of resources like the wiki pages, Paul's podcasts, the resources page. I give them a lot of resources. I don't know if they really follow up with them or not. But and as far as COS University goes, I haven't looked at COS University in a while. Well, really since they brought it back. So I don't know what it covers, or if that's something that we can rely on to help build their knowledge, of convention estates. But then again, that's part of their being self-motivated and wanting to learn more too.
Well, and that's true. That's something we should expect from them, and that's why I put this down here at the end. That I think Convention Estates University, and attending those Tuesday night webinars for volunteers and district captains. Those things are fine, but I think that should be part of the district captain's continuing education.
So should we set up like a continuing education program of some sort, or?
Good. Good.
Should we try to set up some kind of continuing education program? Take all these little bits and pieces and just consolidate them all, and maybe be part of this PowerPoint program you're discussing too.
No, the PowerPoint program, I think that idea was something to be done up front to give them a sense of what
okay.
the expectations would be. No, I think the Convention State University, the Tuesday night webinar, there may be some other things, but that's something they should be aware of, and they should then participate in those if they want to after they're finished with our training. Okay. So I'm asking you tonight to as you go through your modules with the different trainees, look for the signs that we want to be the red flags that pop up. Look for those red flags and let the region captains or me know that, hey, so-and-so here, I think he's got a problem. He's done this, missed this, didn't do this. I think maybe you ought to have a conversation with him. Okay? On this curriculum, where are you, Chris, on that? And did you put that together, or where are you on that?
Were you talking to me, Dale? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. We're George. Just to let you know, we had another birth in the family as well. So it's not just my granddaughter now that shares a birthday, but at current count, 6 puppies.
Oh
my!
So the first one was a girl. So
yeah, I'm not going to ask you if your granddaughter was a twin then.
So anyway, yeah, that was my wife telling me there's 6 now. So we got puppies in the Anyway, so were you talking about that quick reference guide that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to take a look at that, and I guess I was hoping we'd talk about that at the meeting tonight, because I need to know if everybody has made their updates to the one file before I break it up into, because we were talking about breaking it up into modules and giving the people a slice of that for each module as they progress through the program.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about I think we need to have a consolidated document to give them at the very beginning, and just like when you go to a class in college, the teacher generally has a curriculum plan ready to give you, and that's what I'm talking about here.
Okay. I thought we had that already. It was the first thing we looked at when we were putting this together, or organizing everything.
Do we?
Yeah, it's like an outline of all the modules, right?
Yeah, it was your original outline, and then we kind of expanded on that and ended up adding the links for people to do some of their own research on their own. So,
well, I've got different.
Hey, Chris. On that outline, that document page, there's a second tab or a second sheet that says links. Is that what you're working from? I thought it was a separate document that you were working from.
it is. Hang on a second. Excuse me. Because we got 2 of them here. There's the source.
I think this is the outline. You can see my screen. I think this is.
That's the original outline. But then you want to make me presenter real quick, and then I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on here, Chris. Switch. Okay, switch presenter. Are you sure you want to switch presenter? Yeah. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one I put together with, based on your original, and we we're talking about adding. There's the introduction with the organizational chart and so on. But see, there's details to come on several things, and I think there's two of these. Looks like that's got the same name. Hang on a second. So yeah, so there's this one here is more filled out. I think this is the one everybody started actually populating on their own. So we got tips and tricks and module 3, legislative. But see, some of this is not filled out. And this was up to each module to go in and put whatever content. And it looks like a lot of this has been done here, but some hasn't. So my thought anyway was that this would be their reference guide to start, and it's got basically each module in a separate thing that covers what they're going to be talking about.
We need to complete this then, and how do you want to do this?
This is shared with everybody. I can resend that to where
everybody. Are you
everybody.
talking about the second sheet on the outline document?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you talking about that second sheet that's in the outline document?
There isn't an outline in this one, but we can put one in here, and we can even add something that's like what's expected of you after each module, or something to that effect, maybe to dovetail that with what we were talking about tonight as far as making sure people know what's expected of them. I don't know. I'm just thinking out of the box here.
How is this shared, Chris? Is this on a Google Drive or?
Yeah, it's a Google Doc.
Why don't you send that to us again and
okay.
And let me take a look at it here. Scroll through this again. Is it basically the links, or is there?
Yeah. Basically, this part here started out with your outline about what kind of truncated, but what to expect in Module 1, Module 2, the things we're to cover. Module 3 is the legislative areas, and then for each of these could be either some notes or again a link to some other documentation or a video or a website or something like that. Then grassroots would be that stuff, and then of course in the communications with follow the blog and social media, YouTube, and everything, and then finally your wrap up and quiz.
Okay, well, that looks like what we need.
Okay.
In my opinion, now I think there's some areas in addition to the links. I think I guess everyone would have to make sure that their link is the current link,
right?
And then include a little brief explanation of what it's about.
Yeah, and again, we originally had talked a couple times about this, that we might break it up and just give them their module thing at the end of when they complete their module. But I thought it'd be good to just give them the whole thing so they can see what's to come, and they can do their own research too, in their own time, maybe even.
Well, these suggestions came to me. as I was doing Module 6 with some people. Now, of course, their primary, I think, concern, their primary reason for wanting something like this was so that they could go back and review certain things in preparation, in preparing themselves for Module 6. And as it was for these individuals, they had to go through their past emails that they received from you and Ken and George, and they had to go through those past emails to find the links that they needed to the videos in order to review what they wanted to review. So that's the main purpose behind requesting a curriculum that I gleaned from them. So this would be fine. I think this would work well. We could give this to them right up front, and that would help. I think this would help speed things along and also help get things finalized for Module 6.
Okay.
So.
Yep, I'll send this to everybody, and everybody's already I gave everybody access to edit already. So,
Okay.
and if you don't have it, let me know, because I'll make sure it happens.
Okay, let's please everybody have this updated by a week from tonight, if you could please, so that we got this done.
Hey, Chris, can you put the link in the chat box here on this call?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Hey, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so you don't have to follow this like it is. A lot of these, I think, are, even in mine, I may have some things that don't actually go to where they're supposed to go. So I need to double check all my links. But, if you want to just go through and I want to add this, just add, type in there and say, link, and then paste your link in, and then put notes, and then whatever your notes are. And I'll go ahead and make it look like this if you want. So you don't have to, waste any time trying to format the document or anything like that. I can take care of that. And if you don't have a link, that's fine too. You just put some notes there, and you can, say whatever you want about what you're trying to accomplish.
All right. Okay. Good. Thanks, Chris. Good.
You're welcome.
Now, guys, tell me, is 6 to 8 weeks reasonable to expect? That means you've got to you got to be doing a module just about every week, and maybe multiple times. I do think. Well, I think the one-on-ones is very, very a key part of our training program. So now I don't know. There might be some situations where you can get do 2 or 3 people at one time in a setting, but and that's okay as long as it gets done and there's that one-on-one session where they're able to see you and they're able to interact with you.
Great. Yeah, I'm kind of really glad I'm starting to do, just for myself, doing one-on-one, because I mentioned, I've trained people like 20 at a time in my job, but they have like a baseline set of knowledge, that's expected. What I've found in actually training people here, some of them have a really crummy internet connection. Some of them have a tablet and don't know how to install or download software, and so on. So, there's just different other challenges. Some people have an iPhone, and so on. So it runs the gamut of tech challenges.
Now, so once again, it's 6 to 8 weeks. Is that reasonable? Everybody? And George, I know you like to schedule modules, not necessarily in order, but because of scheduling.
Speaking of that,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that you'd like to try to keep 1 and 2 in order, but after that, modules 3, 4, and 5 can,
Yes.
be as available, to try to accommodate different people's schedules. Yeah, I know, and I've been doing that where I need to. So.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have a problem with the way George has scheduled these people?
I like it. Myself, I've been a bit of a weak link just because of my workload at work. But I'm getting people together. I'm setting aside certain nights, where I don't have to work over and stuff. And so starting to get these people. But I've also had people that have missed meetings and had to reschedule 2 or 3 times, actually. So I'm still trying to get together with Jared Wolcott. So I think the next ones I'm going to get is Jay Estelle and Paul.
How many times have you had to reschedule Jared Wolcott?
I actually haven't been able to schedule him at all.
I lost contact with Jared.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I've lost contact with Jared. I've tried several times calling him and left messages, and I'm not hearing anything back.
Yeah, I sent him several emails and text messages and not gotten a response.
Okay, then he needs to go on the alert list here. So I will work with Gary on him. Now, Blake Bennett is another one, I believe.
Who?
Blake Bennett.
Blake
He's got.
Bennett. I think.
Yeah, I haven't tried getting hold of Blake.
Can I interject here?
No.
Just holler it out there, Tom.
I'm sorry. I don't like talking over anybody, especially if they're talking about something I'm trying to listen to. Blake Bennett, I called him 3 times this month, and I don't get any answer. I emailed him. I don't get nothing. I've sent you I sent you and George a couple of emails about him. As far as I'm concerned, is that I have already started looking for a new DC for 55, and I talked to one lady just today.
Right.
And hopefully she'll come on board. She'll make anybody else that I've talked to in the past.
Okay.
What can I say?
I think Blake is evidently is in a situation. He hasn't even done. He hasn't done module 2. Is he a student?
No.
Was that George? What was? I can't see the notes part of the.
Can you see that?
Yeah, he was a student and he was going through summer school, and it was a lot more of a workload than he expected. But that should be done by now, unless he did took on some more or something. But I don't know.
I think we should, Thomas. We can talk about this more, but kind of looks to me like we need to.
I do have a couple more things before I shut my mouth. Now that I've got it started talking.
You're fine, Tom. Go ahead.
Well, you guys were talking about curriculum and what should be the first thing that's done. Well, there is a module that you probably on the Koch University. It's LG 100. It's the Convention of the States Legal Training. It talks about branding and it talks about all of that. And I should know I took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a little quiz on it, so you get the quiz. But I think it's a good module so people know this is what really is legally. This is what's expected of you.
Where's that at?
On the Koch University on LG 100.
Oh, okay.
See, that's something that's part of COS University, and that should be something that the district captain ought to do and go through as part of their continuing education over and above our training program.
I introduced them into COSU in Module 1. There was something else about the checklist and stuff that National came out with when we're trying to get new DC applicants. They mentioned having them register and confirming that they've registered on COSU as part of that checklist too.
Right.
So is this what you were talking about, Thomas? Is that this one here?
Well,
or is it a LL?
It's an LG. It's underneath the. If you go in and log in, can you?
Oh yeah. I don't think I'm actually have an account for that even. So.
Oh, okay.
Oopsie. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's just fine. But yeah, this is just developing grassroots. The other one's just your legal statements. There's about the branding, and there's about the exactly the Dell went over it on the one state call about the umbrella, the whole complete way the unit Convention of the States is set up. But I just thought that would have been a good. You can actually pick a unit out of those modules there that you probably need to do this one. Just my opinion.
Yeah, that stands to reason. I've marked this down, Thomas. Thank you for that, because I'm going to register as soon as we're done here. I don't know why I haven't done that before. I guess it's been.
I've had kind of a problem with new DCs, whether in training. I don't remember for sure. Oh, I think it was Cassie when I was first talking to her. While we were interviewing, she went to COS University, and it only offered her like 2 courses. I don't know why that is. I don't remember which ones they were, but shouldn't they, once they're registered for COSU, be able to get into any of these, shouldn't they?
Maybe just as the introductory courses, and then not until they're in a leadership position that they have access to these. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know either, quite honestly. I don't know either.
I didn't have any trouble. Maybe because I just took it in the last 4 months.
Could be.
Looks like a lot of good stuff here.
But once again, I think this should be part of their continuing education.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
I'll mute myself.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Chris, you're going to send the link to us for the curriculum, the outline.
Yeah, it's in the chat box, Dale.
Okay. And
Yeah, look in the chat box. It's there. In the free conference call chat, I pasted it in there. You should be able to either copy it or click it.
all right. Well, I can't do that now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you need to take over the presenter again, I think, too.
Well, just send that to me, if you would. Send me the link and Slack it to us or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Let me do that. I'll just send it through Slack to everybody.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody have anything else?
I had one request, and it's going to sound really silly, but I would like to go through the training.
That's really silly. I tell you, that's really silly.
I'm serious. I'd like to go through the, I'd like to go through all the modules except for mine. I'm serious. I want to see what other people are getting, and I don't know anything about what George and especially Ken and Paul. Even I've watched some of Paul's podcasts and things, but Ken's got a whole plethora of information that I don't have a clue about, and I think it might be kind of nice to do that. I don't want to waste anybody's time, so maybe we could do
I say what you should do is you go to the training tracking report, and you look at when module 3 is going to be presented, or you tell Paul, hey, let me know when you're going to do a module 3.
I'm with you.
And let me set in on it.
Yeah, do what you just did last night. And
right.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great plan.
I wanted to set in on every module just to kind of get an idea of what you're doing. And George talks way too much, but anyway, it helps me.
Yeah, I get hoarse.
But I'm kind of like you, Chris. I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what everyone's doing. So that would be my suggestion to you.
Okay.
I'll only charge you $49.95 for them.
What was that?
I said I'll give you a July special, Chris and Dale, $49.95.
That's a bargain.
Oh, he's gonna charge us now.
Bargain.
He's got to pay for that trip to Sturgis again.
Yeah.
That's right.
What do you have a Sturgis shirt for?
What do I have a Sturgis shirt for?
Yeah.
Yeah, your T-shirt says Sturgis on it. That's my area. That's my territory.
He's born to be wild.
Well, we'll have to get together and do it. You buy the beer, though.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And George, I need to get with you on to show you what the expectations are that I'm talking about for a district captain. So, anything else?
Nope. I guess I'm good.
All right, everyone. Well, that's it. That's all I had for tonight. Thank you for joining in, and let's keep up the good work, and let's move on and get these district captains trained and get them on the job doing what we expect them to do, and keep moving on.
Go team.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Good night.
And Ken,
thanks for the birthday wishes, everybody.
Yeah, Ken. Today's George's birthday, so I don't know if you caught that or not.
In fact, I think I posted happy birthday on his Facebook page, but if he didn't get it, happy birthday, George.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, I don't go to Facebook all that often, so okay. Yeah, no presents, just send money.
George, you want to stay on and we can talk about what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, that'd be okay with me.
See you guys.
Stay on. I'm going to end the recording. Good night, everyone.
That